I'm TJ. This is my project. It's called Glunote. It is just kind of supposed to be a day-to-day app that people with diabetes can use to kind of manage their glucose levels and their testing if they do test their blood sugars, manage their carbohydrate intake. I haven't talked about it in a while, so that's just kind of the overview. What have I finished? 3 pages are like totally ready, although it's still all really basic, but they're kind of done. And the 3 are entering your carbohydrate values and your glucose values, and also setting alarms to remind yourself to test your blood sugar. I'm still working on the databases. I am not nearly as good at Java as I thought I was. XML has been a breeze, which is what Android uses for working on user interfaces, but I have been struggling valiantly with that, and it's getting there. And the last full activity that I'm working on is the planner page, which allows you to plan out an entire day in terms of what you're going to eat, how many carbs you're going to make, stuff like that. I guess I talked about most of this. So I haven't started working on putting information into an email over a week or a month. The idea is that you'll be able to take everything you input and stick it into an email that you can then send to your endocrinologist or your parents or anyone else who's interested in keeping track of how you're doing. And the UI is on its way for the day planner, but I haven't actually started the backend for it. So by my measure, I've actually fallen further behind since my last talk, and if I'm candid, my non-RCOS related life has kind of really gotten in the way. I've had to make emergency trips home. We've had some minor family emergencies. So I have fallen like another week behind, and part of that also is chalked up to the fact that I don't know how to Java, and I'm still learning. But I'm hopeful that I can make my last couple of weeks really productive and get caught up. I don't see it as an insurmountable task in any way, and I should be distraction-free for the last 2.5 weeks of the summer. So that's about it. I think I was okay. I am. Professor Goldschmidt talked about this last time, but there are already a lot of apps that will take your data and graph it and give you a bunch of really intense information about your HbA1c, which is a number that tells you how close to dying you are. And I do want to make it look pretty, because right now it's just using all the built-in Android UI elements, and that honestly those look terrible. But that's going to have to be something that I do maybe in the fall or just on my own time. And that's all those numbers. One more thing to say. Are there any questions?
No. So clap.
Oh, just a tip for doing the database easily. There's a library called Android ORM that makes it really easy to do the database code. So that might help. I think I use it in the project that someone would get up now.
I've been using SQLite, which was the first thing that came up on Google when I Googled Android database.
Yeah.
It seems like it's what most people use, but I'll look at that.
Yeah, what it does is it makes it easy by turning a class, and then you just put save, and then you make the columns for the class out of the variables from the thing you would say.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit similar. Yeah, thank you.
So I think that the built-in Android widgets all look beautiful, but you have to target Android 4.0 and above. And I swear by Action Bar Sherlock whenever I program for Android, and that just lets you import a class, and then it lets you use all of those nice pretty looking widgets, all the nice pretty little tab views and sliding drawers from the side, and bars at the top. It lets you use that in all the previous versions.
Action Bar who now?
Action Bar Sherlock.
Sherlock. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I was just going to throw in whatever database you do end up using, definitely storing data forever. I know some of the stuff I use, the data disappears after a few weeks, or, it's like, oh, I don't have any long-term data. That's, so that's probably a given. You probably already doing that, planning to do that, but just definitely worth mentioning.
I will say that the moment when I decided like this is all terrible and I need to make my own UI elements was when I put a picker in, which is the little scrolly things. And what came up was like, everything else is like the nice blue and gray sharp corners, and then it was like this like iOS 1.0 like super curved with like shiny gradients, and it just looked so out of place. But anyway.
Along the same lines, is there any way that you can like push it to your Google account? Because I know with most Android phones you have to sign in with your account anyway.
Right.
That way, even if you get a new phone, it'll be saved somewhere like backed up. So that might be something interesting to look at.
Yeah, that's something to think about.
Yeah, I was going to suggest something similar, some sort of way of accessing the same information from your computer, so you can like print reports and go to your doctor with it and say, no, look, I've been doing everything right. Why are my ketones so high?
To answer that question, if you sign up as a developer for Google, you can access all of the Play Store APIs, and they have an API to store permanent preferences technically, but I'm sure you could just shoehorn it to say, well, I have this preference of this giant, array list.
Super like database.
Yeah. But yeah, you can. There's a built-in API to tie that to your account.
Thank you.
Do we clap again?